My Oxford tutors. The subject of Oxford education is very much on the minds of great educators, and we Indians are now not very much attracted by the British higher education. It's the standards of British higher education even today are very high, and when I went to Oxford in the year late 1950s, it was at its pinnacle as far as some of the academic disciplines are concerned. One was philosophy. You may be all wondering what's the use of philosophy even today? Why even future will be determined by how we pursue this world's ancient field of knowledge. Philosophy was known by many names when its beginning. It was called natural philosophy, and some of the chairs at Oxford, chairs occupied by some of my much revered professors, 500 years old. So even now, Drummond, professor of economics, is one of the famous chairs. He is some 500 years old. The occupant of this chair, Professor J.R. Hicks, was my teacher. He taught us economic theory, and I have much to say about him, his genial nature, and he is the one of the, I think, first Nobel laureates in economics. My another professor of philosophy was Professor A.J. Ayer, A-Y-E-R. This gentleman was at his very productive phase when he taught us philosophy, empirical philosophy. Even today, Professor Ayer had not been replaced. His thinking still prevails, and one more professor who taught us metaphysics was Professor Gilbert Ryle. He took up the most difficult task of demolishing metaphysics. It's not a joke. Metaphysics is as serious as any other branch of philosophy. And now the question is, when these gentlemen were occupying these chairs, I was lucky to become a student of these great minds. One more name comes to my mind is Sir Isaiah Berlin. He's a Russian Jew, and one more teacher of politics for me was Professor is from the East European country of Serbia, and he taught us German Marxism and Soviet communism. There were so many like that these brilliant minds, and today philosophy is not rated high in the academic circles. It's a misconception. Unless you have mastered the first principles of any branch of knowledge, you cannot pursue further knowledge. That's the situation. Today, we in India are obsessed with getting some degrees in maths and engineering and information technology. These are all, of course, very important for job's sake, but job seeking is not the primary motive of any pursuit of pure knowledge. So I want to say much about the new education philosophy in India, which is not quite new, which is just an imitation of the past practices, and getting a degree for just a job is not educational, and it's very fundamental sense. This subject of education needs to be debated in India. Unfortunately, this is not now thought of. We are all indulging in some other controversial topic like Hindutva and other communal issues colored by prejudices, our lack of commitments to higher values. So This is the area where I have to say many deeper and controversial things. That's for another day. Thank you.